Since 1968, Dhollandia has taken the lead in tail lift innovation and developed tail lifts that are easy to operate, safe and reliable, extremely durable, while minimizing your total cost of ownership. Dhollandia offers tail lifts with lift capacities from 500 kilograms to 9,000 kilograms and are sold in 6 continents worldwide. Dhollandia offers 7 product families: van lifts, cantilever lifts, slider lifts, foldaway lifts, column lifts, special application lifts, and passenger lifts. This video addresses the cantilever lift types DHLM. The purpose of this video is to familiarize you with its main features, important safety precautions for tail lift operation, and the correct operation procedures. The presentation is broken down into 3 parts. Section 1, Introduction of the DHLM and its main features. Section 2, Important safety issues to be considered before and during use of the tail lift. And Section 3, Correct operation of the DHLM. Most DHLM cantilever lifts feature a solid, one-piece platform made of steel or aluminium, which covers the back of the vehicle when not in use. The platform is moved up and down by heavy-duty lift arms and hydraulic cylinders, mounted on a main lift frame that attaches to the vehicle chassis by means of a pair of mounting plates. The DHLM is driven by 4 hydraulic cylinders, 2 lift cylinders to lift and lower the platform, 2 tilt cylinders to open and close the platform, adjust its inclination to the slope of the ground, and maximize the stability of the load on the platform. The DHLM are designed as level ride platforms with a repeatable auto tilt function at ground level. When the platform goes down and arrives at the ground, it will tilt down automatically as the operator continues to press the down button. When pressing the up button to lift the platform off the ground, it will first tilt itself up to the level ride position and return to the inclination you set when first opening the platform. Then the platform will continue to lift level ride to the vehicle floor. Now have a closer look at the hydraulic cylinders. Each of the 4 cylinders is equipped with electric safety valves that automatically unlock and lock as the electric controls are activated or released. The electric safety valves used on Dhollandia tail lifts feature a manual emergency override so that they can be operated in case of electrical failure. Consult the maintenance and repair manual before using this feature. The 4 cylinders are driven by hydraulic pressure generated by the pump unit, generally pre-mounted at the side of the main lift frame. Inside, you will find a starter solenoid, electric motor, hydraulic pump, oil reservoir, electric control valves, and a wiring block connecting the whole system. The electric motor is fed by the truck batteries or an auxiliary battery pack charged by the alternator of the truck or tractor unit. The power cable from these batteries to the pump unit is protected by a main fuse or circuit breaker. These can cut out if the tail lift is run too many cycles without recharging the battery. It is harmful for any brand or type of tail lift to run on insufficient battery power. Most tail lifts are equipped with a main external control box and remote control with spiral cable. The main external control box is mounted on the side of the body and should only be accessed when standing on the ground. The most popular main external control boxes function by means of push buttons or by means of a joystick control. They are equipped with mandatory 2-hand control for all 4 functions: open, lower, lift, and close. This setup complies with European safety standards. It prohibits the operator from standing under or behind the platform when opening the platform. It also prevents the operator from crushing his head or limbs between the platform and the rear frame of the body when closing the platform. The most popular auxiliary controls include foot controls mounted in the platform surface, or handheld control with spiral cable plugged in here or here. Depending on the options ordered, all controls are powered by a main battery disconnect switch integrated in the main external control box, or a cutoff switch mounted in the vehicle cabin, or a combination of both. The main battery disconnect switch is located here. Turning it clockwise will activate all controls. Turning it counterclockwise will shut off all power to the tail lift. The cab switch is activated by pressing the red button, like this. A warning light indicates that power to the lift is switched on. it is shut off by pressing the button again, like this. For tail lifts equipped with an optional tilt sensor on the platform, the warning light of the cab switch will not only indicate if the power to the tail lift is switched on or off, but also if the platform is properly stowed in the road position. Other popular options include platform-mounted flashing lights to make the platform visible to other persons at night, and automatic or manually operated roll stops, which prevent wheeled goods from rolling off the outboard platform edge. For platforms equipped with the optional tilt sensor and platform lights, the platform lights will switch off automatically as the platform is closed in the road position. All Dhollandia tail lifts are supplied with an operation manual. This manual should be kept with your vehicle. All manuals can be downloaded from the Dhollandia website, www.dhollandia.com, via the indicated link. Additional paper copies can be ordered from Dhollandia via the relevant distributor number. This video is just a quick start guide to proper and safe work procedures. It is essential that you read and fully understand the operation manual and its safety precautions before operating the tail lift. Incorrect operation of the tail lift can result in serious personal injury to you or other persons in the area of operation, and in property damage. It is your responsibility to ensure you comply with all warnings and operating instructions in the operation manual. Never allow untrained or unauthorized persons to operate the tail lift. Dhollandia recommends you wear professional safety toe footwear with a good non-slip sole, protective gloves, and eye protection. The DHLM have maximum rated capacities that range from 500 to 9,000 kilograms depending on the model. This value is the maximum load you are allowed to put on the platform under the following two conditions. The heaviest part of the load is positioned as close as possible to the inboard platform edge, and the load is positioned centrally between the lift arms. If you place the load further away from the rear of the vehicle or out of center, the safe working load will go down as shown on the load chart decal. There are marks on the platform here and here to indicate where the center point of maximum load and area of greatest strength is located. Never place a load on the platform that exceeds the rated capacity and load charts. Overloading can damage the tail lift and cause severe personal injury to the operator and to other persons in the working area. The load should never protrude beyond the outboard edge or side edges of the platform. Forklifts are a frequent source of accidents and severe damage. They should only be used in highly restricted conditions. Consult the operation manual for limitations. Check that the work area is clear and make sure the tail lift can be used safely. It is good practice to place safety cones at the corners of the work area and keep visual control over the whole work area at all times. Don't allow any other person near the tail lift or its platform while it is in use. Optional platform lights and flags help make the tail lift more visible to other persons. Be prepared to guide other persons away from your work area. There are 4 main danger zones that must be avoided at all times. 1. The area under and behind the platform. Stay clear of the range of motion of the platform and the moving parts of the tail lift at all times. 2. The crushing zone between the rising platform and the floor of the vehicle. Keep your feet at a safe distance of a minimum 25 centimeters away from the inboard platform edge. 3. The crushing zone between the lowering platform and the ground. Stand at a safe distance on the side of the vehicle while operating the tail lift from the ground. 4. The crushing zone between the closing platform and the rear frame of the body. Use the main external control box with 2-hand operation to ensure that your head, hands or upper body don't get trapped between the platform and the vehicle body. Important decals are affixed near the main external control box. Make sure that you fully understand and comply with these warnings prior to operating the tail lift, and keep them clean and legible at all times. Replacement decals and manuals can be obtained from Dhollandia via the relevant distributor number. You must comply with all safety warnings and operating instructions. Failure to do so can result in injury to you and others in the area of operation. An open platform is a potential hazard for people or vehicles passing by. Always make sure the tail lift is fully stowed whenever it is not in use, and before moving your vehicle, first stow the platform in its travel position. Before operating your tail lift, there are some daily checks that must be performed. Begin your inspection at the main external control box. Check the overall condition of the control box and its switches, and verify if all switches swiftly return to the neutral position after releasing them. If so equipped, make sure the main battery disconnect switch and cabin switch switch the electric power on and off according to the set position. Check the overall condition of the auxiliary controls and their switches. In case of a handheld control, inspect the spiral cable. Next, check the overall condition of the cabling to the pump unit. Make sure the cables are not chafed or damaged. Check that the cover of the pump unit is properly mounted and secured, and look for visible oil leaks. Check all cylinders, their safety valves and fittings for visible oil leaks. Follow the hydraulic pipes and fittings to the pump unit. Make sure all wires and hydraulic pipes are undamaged and secured with cable ties. Check for visible oil leaks. Visually inspect the general condition of the lift arms, lift frame and its mounting plates to the vehicle chassis. Look for deformation, cracks in the material or welds and proper locking of the articulation pins. Ensure all bolts for the mounting plates to the vehicle chassis are fastened. Finally, inspect the general condition of the platform. Again, look for deformation, cracks in the material or welds and proper locking of the articulation pins. Depending on options installed, make sure flashing warning lights, roll stops, foot controls, safety rails, etc. are in good working order. Make sure the platform surface is clean. If the platform is covered with snow, mud, dirt or slippery liquids, do not use the tail lift and clean the platform first. A properly installed and maintained tail lift should operate smoothly and fairly quietly through its range of motion. Be alert to any unusual movements or sounds such as scraping or squeaking noises, as well as sounds of the pump unit struggling or slowing down in an unusual manner. If you notice unusual movements or sounds, discontinue use of the tail lift and contact an authorized Dhollandia service agent for immediate repair. Make sure you hit the road with the lift gate maintained in safe operating condition. Remember, regular maintenance is very important for the reliability of the tail lift and for the safety of the operator and other persons near the tail lift. Before operating the tail lift, let's first focus on how to use the control units. The most popular main external control boxes are operated like this: open, lower, lift, close. The auxiliary controls are activated as follows. On main external control boxes with a rotating safety switch, turn this safety switch counterclockwise to a fixed position. On main external control boxes with a push-button safety switch, the auxiliary controls are activated whenever the safety switch is not pushed in. The remote control with spiral cable is operated like this to lift the platform, like this to lower the platform. Whenever operating these controls from a position on the platform, make sure you stand at a safety distance of a minimum 25 centimeters from the platform edge. The platform-mounted foot controls are operated like this to lift the platform, like this to lower the platform. If your tail lift is equipped with a different style of control, consult the operation manual prior to using the tail lift. Whenever traveling on the platform, make sure your footing is stable and maintain 3 points of contact. Next, let's look at correct tail lift operation. We will do a run with an empty platform first, then add a load sequence to that. Set the brakes. Switch the electric power on by pushing the cabin switch like this, or by turning the battery disconnect switch in the main external control box clockwise like this, or by a combination of both. The DHLM lift is now enabled for operation. If so equipped, release the mechanical platform lock. Open the platform from the vertical road position to the horizontal work position by means of the open function of the main external control box. Always open the platform at vehicle floor height only, and make sure nobody stands under or behind the platform. Release the buttons once the platform has opened to the desired inclination. Next, lower the open platform by pressing the down function of the main external control box or the auxiliary control until the platform is tilted at the ground. To raise the platform to the vehicle floor, use the lift function on the main external control box or the auxiliary controls. The platform will first tilt up to the inclination preset upon platform opening. Then it will continue to raise level ride to the vehicle floor. Release the switch as you hear the hydraulics turn in overpressure. If you are using the remote control with spiral cable, stow the control gently. Finally, to stow the platform back in its travel position, first make sure it is fully raised to the vehicle floor level. Then, use the close function of the main external control box to close the platform back in its travel position. Release the switch when the platform presses firmly against the body and you hear the hydraulics turn in overpressure. If the platform is equipped with a mechanical platform lock, engage the lock. At last, switch off the electrical power by turning the main battery disconnect switch in the main external control box, or by pushing the cutoff switch in the truck cabin, or by a combination of both. Let's look at loading and unloading again, starting from the open platform at the vehicle floor level. Adjust the inclination of the platform 2 to 3 degrees up to compensate for deflection in the vehicle suspension and tail lift assembly once the platform is fully loaded. Most frequently used load handling equipment include manual pallet trucks, electric pallet trucks, and carts. When handling pallets, lower them down on the platform surface to prevent the pallets from shifting or rolling off the platform unintentionally. Carts or other wheeled loads must be secured on the platform by other means. Deploy the roll stops on your platform prior to pushing the load from the cargo space onto the platform. For automatic roll stops, use the tip of your shoe to kick the lever outward. Dhollandia offers optional roll stops in different variations. If your tail lift is equipped with a different style of roll stop, consult the operation manual or the additional videos on the Dhollandia website. Now push the load onto the platform. Push it out far enough for clearance to go down, but keep the heaviest part of the load as close as possible to the inboard platform edge to comply with applicable load charts. Always push the load from the vehicle floor onto the platform. Pulling the load from the vehicle can result in a fall from the platform and serious injury. Check again visually that nobody or no thing has come into your work area. Then use the auxiliary controls to lower the platform to the ground. While traveling up or down, stand on the side of the load, never in front or behind. Make sure your footing is stable and always maintain 3 points of contact. Keep the down button pressed to allow the platform to tilt to the ground. If you have deployed the optional roll stops, now is the time to stow them again. When offloading, simply step on the roll stop and make sure the lock lever moves back to the locked position. When loading from the ground onto the platform, there are 2 modes to operate the automatic roll stops. When pushing the lever just to the side, the flap will remain closed after you step on it or ride a cart over it. When pushing the lever to the side and to the rear, the flap will jump up again to open position after the cart's rollers have passed over it. Roll the load on the platform. Use the lift function of the auxiliary controls to raise the platform from the tilted position to the level ride position and further raise the platform to the vehicle floor. Remember to stand on the side of the load on a safe distance from the inboard edge and side edges of the platform. Make sure your footing is stable and always maintain 3 points of contact. At the vehicle floor, release the lift button as you hear the hydraulic system go in overpressure. Carefully move the load inside and secure it per your company policy. Special instructions apply for working at loading docks. They are recognized by most manufacturers as an important cause of tail lift damage. Consult Dhollandia's manual prior to reversing a cantilever lift into a loading dock. We wish you a safe journey and trouble-free use of your Dhollandia tail lift. And remember, Make sure you read and apply all safety precautions and work instructions from the operation manual. Contact Dhollandia in case of doubt prior to continuing.